Hello and welcome to another scale modeling video. This time we got the Messerschmitt BF109 G10 from REVELL in 70-second scale. Now this won't be a build review like I usually do them, it's more like a recap, because this was more an experiment to me, so I did not take any photos during the building process, but it turned out quite nice. Here you can see my Messerschmitt. I really like the outcome, so I wanted to show it to you anyways. And before I show you more about the plane, I want to tell you what I got myself. I bought a few products for scale modeling and I just wanted to experiment here a bit. And the first one I got was this Harder and Steenbeck Ultra airbrush. Now I used some cheap airbrushes before and they worked out for me, but because I got more than 20 unbuilt kits, I wanted to step up my game a bit and got this one. It wasn't that expensive. It's more like an entry level airbrush from Harder and Steenbeck. It costs about 70 euros or $70. And what I like about it is that it's really easy to disassemble and therefore it's really easy to clean. So you got your paint cup here. You can just remove it like that. And in here, underneath the cap, here is the nozzle, which is basically one part, but you can take it apart like that. So cap and nozzle, and here the needle. Let's quickly close that again before I harm anything here. So I'm really satisfied with this. I had a couple of problems with the REVELL aqua colors and my cheap airbrushes. I cleaned them thoroughly, but the paint just wouldn't come out. And with this one I did not have any problems until now. So I'm really satisfied with this airbrush. And what else? Because I never built any World War II planes before, I got myself some new colors. These are the Luftwaffe late World War II late colors from Ammo of MiG. And these are great. These are also acrylics, but they are much easier to use for me than the REVELL aqua colors. I also got myself the MiG thinner for them. These are also acrylics, as I said, but they are not that harmful. They don't stink and it's really easy to thin them, and the colors turned out quite nice, as you can see here. These are only the MiG colors. I used a few of the REVELL acrylics for some smaller parts, like for the wheels and stuff like that. And you can already see there's a lot of weathering, but I'll come to that really soon. So yeah, the MiG colors, I can really recommend them, they are great. Oh, and by the way, this is the display base from Coastal Kits. Check out their homepage, they have really great bases for planes, helicopters, tanks, sci-fi, anything you can imagine. And I also experimented with some different masking tapes here. Of course, I got the Tamiya masking tape, which is great, but I also got myself the Scotch Magic tape, which is transparent, and I really like to use it on the canopies, because you just stick it on there, it's transparent, so you can just cut along the edges and spray the whole thing and remove it. Removing it is a bit of a pain in the ass because it's so sticky, but as you can see, the canopy turned out quite nice, so it worked really good. So this was the Scotch Magic tape. Then we have this one. I got these from AliExpress, so they were really cheap, and this one is really easy to use. Just do it like that and you got your stripe. Then I got this one. I did not really use this one because the surface is not that flat, if I can say it like that. But I also got myself this one, which is for curves, so you can bend it a little bit. And I used it here, for example, on the wings. As you can see, there are some smooth curves and this worked out quite good. I will actually do a separate video about cheap modeling products from AliExpress, because I got a ton of things from there and most of it works out quite well and is really cheap. So these were the masking tapes. What I also used for the first time is masking fluid. I got this one from a Polish company and it really stinks, but it's a nice product actually. Let's just quickly open it up, but it stinks really terrible, so let's close it again. And what I did with this was masking the wheel wells. So I painted them black and silver. Then I just used a brush to get the masking fluid in there. And I only removed it when I was completely done with the rest of the aircraft. And what this does is, it's liquid, but it dries and gets solid, or it's more like a chewing gum consistency. And you can really easily remove it. So it worked great on the wheel wells. I also used it here on the guns. It did not work out that well here because it removed a bit of the actual paint from the aircraft when I removed the masking fluid. But all in all, this is great. I think there is also masking fluid from Humbrol, which is better known. So this is quite nice. If you can get this somewhere cheap, try it out. What else? As you can see, the bottom of the Messerschmitt is really weathered. What I did here was using this Italeri wash, which is also quite nice. It's acrylics based, so you can easily remove it. As you can see, I poured it out, of course, but I can also recommend this. This is quite nice. And the third product I got is this Testers or Model Master decal set, which works out quite nicely. I just used the brush to get some of it on the area that the decal will come. Then I put on the decal and used even more of the decal set, and it worked out quite nicely. I really like the decals on the Messerschmitt, as you can see here. Those look great. And I used the silver gloss coat, then put on the decals and then used the matte coat. So there is no silvering effect whatsoever. I really like the outcome. And what you can also see here is the chipping. I also tried using the masking fluid on the bottom. So I sprayed on a silver layer on some areas. Then I put on a few small dots of the masking fluid, sprayed the actual color from MIG. And when that all was dry, I removed the masking fluid. That did not work out that well. What worked better for me was just dipping a needle into some silver acrylics and smearing it across these areas where you would expect some effects. I might do a little less than this on my next model, but I really like the outcome. So these were all the new products that I used, and I really like the outcome, as you can see. For my first World War II aircraft and using all these products for the first time, this turned out quite nice. Yeah, and the propeller, you can even spin it around. Thank God this swirl or loop here in front was a decal. It was quite easy to put it on with the decal set. I also used a bit of the REVELL weathering set, for example some rust effects. So this was my Messerschmitt 109 from REVELL. It was very easy to build, level 2. 37 parts, as I said, so really easy to build, no major problems. I used a nylon string here for this antenna or whatever it is. And yeah, what more can I say? I really enjoyed building this one. I also got another Messerschmitt 109, this time from Italeri, also in 72nd scale. This one has a few more parts and is a bit more detailed, so I'm really looking forward to building this. If you want to see the outcome of this build, stay tuned, subscribe, and in a few months or years you will see the outcome of this build. So that's it for this little video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and see you soon. Goodbye.